chance here for the dark-skinned John Conteh, if only he can take it, fighting for the European title against Rudiger Schmidtke of Germany, even before he's fought for the British title, and only 17 months after his first pro fight. John Conteh from Liverpool against Rudiger Schmidtke of West Germany, who took this title from Chris Finnegan in this ring in November, when he stopped Finnegan in 12 rounds, splitting Finnegan's nose. The German's shown himself to be a crafty boxer, not a big puncher, but an artful counter-puncher, particularly with the right hand. The right is the one Conte's going to have to watch for most of the time. Schmidtke is currently ranked on most lists the #5 contender for the world title. Nothing much between them in weight. Conte is 12 stone 6.5. He's made the 12-7 limit comfortably, and Schmidtke 12 6.25. So a quiet opening round and nothing in it. Well, the question being asked tonight in this Wembley ring is, can John Conteh succeed where Chris Finnegan failed against Schmidtke in November?
Second round, round 3.
The referee tonight is French, Monsieur Bernard Masco, and we have two judges sitting at the ringside who also score. Ben Brill from Holland and Robert Degas from Belgium. Well, we've already seen Chris Finnegan come through tonight in his fight with Roy John. And, of course, promoter Harry Levine here at Wembley has already said that if Conte were to win this, then the next logical match would be Conte against Finnegan, with Finnegan's British and Commonwealth titles up and Conte's European title at stake. Jabs at the moment. That's a good left hook from Conte. First really good punch of the fight. Schmidtke felt that. And Conte's hustling him into opening up a bit. That's a good right again from Conte. Be a marvellous change for him to be in there at level weights, or level within a quarter of a pound anyway. He's been giving huge lumps of weight away to heavyweight rivals. And because he can make his punch tell so much better against a man of his own weight. There's that little drop of the arms again from Schmidtke. Good punch, that right hand. He's catching the crafty German with it. Not a bad round for Conte. Much in it, but Conte's probably stolen it. So very, very hopeful signs there in the way Conte was putting them together, but this young man might well be equal to the task, which is a very big one set before him.
Second up, round 4.
Of these two fighters, Schmidtke's been 15 rounds once in his life, but Conte never has. He's never fought for a title outside the amateurs. And although Conte's made a good start, there's no sign yet. This is developing dramatically one way or the other. It's still very open. Punch. Slight mark coming up underneath the left eye of Schmidtke. Now there's a definite sign of a swelling underneath the German's left eye. see that mark there. You see that underneath the left eye of Schmidtke. That's been put there by the right hand of Conte. And that might be trouble later. If that gets any worse, it's in an awkward position then. If it began to swell, it could impair the vision of the left eye. So the first success in terms of physical damage goes to Conte, who's brought up that slight swelling underneath the left eye. Rudiger Schmidtke. And that's something I don't remember Finnegan doing to Schmidtke. I don't remember him really damaging Schmidtke about the face, although Finnegan, at the time it was stopped with that nose injury, I thought was quite well ahead. He was outboxing Schmidtke. That's a good right, and Schmidtke almost went. And now this German knows he's got trouble. And we can expect to see him poking up that left now, moving back away from the right hand of Conte. In fact, he's moving around onto it all the time. Conte looks really sharp tonight and seems to me to be absolutely enjoying himself, and I'm sure this is something to do with the fact that he's back among the light heavyweights. He's back in his own weight class, and therefore his punching is telling so much more than it was against the bigger men. He's got this man in real trouble now, I tell you. Round, and Conte well on top. And this man's never been knocked down, but once or twice in this round, that record has looked like going. Forced to hold on for dear life. Coming up to the end of the fifth. This man's got to go in a minute. He's got him all over the shop. And Schmidtke doesn't know where he is. Seconds left of the fifth. And he won't have time to finish it in this one. There's the bell. Oh, what trouble Schmidtke was in there. So Conte now well on the way to victory for this European title. And this will be one of the most astonishing achievements. If he pulls it off in the next couple of rounds, it'll be one of the most astonishing achievements recently by any British fighter.
Second round, round 6.
Well, Conte's set him up. He's set him up for the victory. Now can he claim it? Great daub of grease now over the swelling underneath Schmidtke's left eye. Oh, there it is again. That right is absolutely explosive. This German now looking as though he's coming apart at the seams. Using the ring and his reach, trying to keep up further trouble. He takes him with that right every time. And his left jab has got almost as much force behind it as the right. So Schmidtke's tottering again, and his European crown slipping sideways. He's gone, he's down for the first time in his life. Conte, the man to put him there, and he shakes his head, Schmidtke. And his legs have gone as well. Compulsory 8 count. And here's Conte's chance. He's got him down the second time. Right hand again. Compulsory 8 count under European rules. Bernard Masco counting over in 2 counts. Round 6. And that might be the finish. They're telling him to stay down in the corner, take as long a rest as possible. Only seconds to go. About 7 seconds of this round left. There's the bell, he's saved. Saved by the bell, there's no doubt about that. Once more would have done it. So Schmidtke in absolutely terrible trouble there. And I wouldn't think there's any way he can stave off defeat now once Conte gets at him again. 3 times on the floor. Let's see the last one. This was the 3rd knockdown. This right hand of Conte set him up all the way. Right on the side of the jaw. And he was lucky to get up from that. Will it be lucky number 7 for Conte? Looks as though he's got the man all set to go now. Can he finish it? Tremendous performance if he does. Watch for Conte's right. This is the one that does the damage. Schmidtke looks reasonably fresh again, but he hasn't taken that right yet. Conte not hurrying it, looking for the chances, wasting nothing. Same time, Schmidtke getting the breather he needed. Just a bit too anxious that time, Conte. He didn't quite make it tell. So far, Schmidtke's defied him to put the right on him again. Kept the left hand going and his feet moving. And he's shown surprising agility considering what he went through in the previous round. Closing seconds of the 7th. And the expected victory hasn't come for Conte in that round. And Schmidtke flops wearily on that stool. But he's escaped defeat, which looked absolutely certain for him at the end of the 6th. And that might just be a costly round for Conte.
Second round, round 5.
So all credit to the German for getting through this. He had a really bad patch in that 6th round. And here he is now in the 9th, still there. And still looking defensively very awkward. Something's been lost here at Wembley, and I can tell you what it is. It's the right hand of Conte. He's reserving that right hand so much now that you have to begin to ask yourself whether perhaps he might have hurt it in that tremendous onslaught against Schmidtke in the 6th. He's saving it all the time now. Oh, there it was. He didn't save it that time, but it didn't seem to have quite the same devastating effect. from Conte. And I'd really like to know about that right hand of Conte's. He's used it so sparingly in the last 3 rounds that you begin to wonder. Is he having trouble with it? Is it painful now to throw it? Now, if it is, it can't have the same effect.
Second up, round 11.
So we enter the last third of this championship battle between Conte of England and Schmidtke of Germany. And I've got Conte well ahead on my scorecard at this stage. But the man in front of him, Schmidtke, the champion, still proving quite a handful. But Schmidtke's face now showing the marks of battle around both eyes. Grease liberally smeared all over his face. And little specks of blood appearing here and there, all over his face. Solid jabs of Conte are doing the damage on Schmidtke's face. He's giving Schmidtke a really rough ride in this round. And Conte is unmarked. German sticking very gamely to the job, working away behind the left hand all the time. But always being outpunched. Conte has always had the better and stronger punch. Good right uppercut from Conte. Really severe, these jabs. And it speaks wonders for the strength of Schmidtke that he can stand up under them. So Conte looks to me to be very well on the way to victory here. I've got him with a long lead now over Schmidtke. There are 3 people judging this fight, the referee and 2 continental judges sitting ringside.
Second up, round 12.
Conte immediately goes back to work with the jab. But you'll notice it is the jab mostly now, not that right hand, and I'm still intrigued as to why he's saved the right so much. He's got him going again. Chopped him with one and warned about it. And this might be the big final attack if Conte can keep it going. 12th. And really now, Schmidtke's face is so marked and so battered about it, looks more like a mask than a face. And in fact, he's got a cut over his left eye now to add to all his other troubles. And this looks to me as though it's the beginning of the end here for Schmidtke, if Conte can only keep the pressure on now. nose bleeding. This is the German, nose bleeding, eye cut above, marked underneath, taking a real pasting and a hammering now from Conte, who's got the European title once more at his fingertips. And Schmidtke surely can't have a lot left. The referee could, with justification, step in now and stop this, because Schmidtke's all over the place and his legs are giving way and only courage is holding him up. Still more than a minute of this 12th round to go. And still the German bravely walks back into it, undoubtedly to take more. A minute of this round left. The Germans go count. It's a standing count. Compulsory 8 count as he stands supported by the ropes. And it stops. He considers that Schmidtke's in no state to continue, and we've got a new European champion. Let's have a look now at the way Conte wrapped it up. And it was a tremendously efficient destruction job. Punch after punch put together. He couldn't put Schmidtke down, but he brought the whole thing to an end. So at 21, John Conteh of Liverpool is the light heavyweight champion of Europe and can now look forward, without any doubt whatever, to a chance at Chris Finnegan's British and Commonwealth titles.